In front of everyone, the strongest alpha chose me, the mute, my sister sneered. A perfect match, a cripple and a mute. On our wedding day, he made sure to chase away everyone who dared to mock me. The Alperties bargy any other, the air in Oakshade's pack hall was suffocating, heavy with anxiety and expectation. My sisters and I stood in a tense line, our father's sharp gaze drilling into us like a blade. Margot wore her usual confident smirk, her beauty glowing like a well-polished weapon. Lucille fidgeted, her fingers twisting nervously. And me, I was a shadow, the mute daughter, the curse no one wanted to claim. The doors groaned open, cutting through the murmurs. Power rolled in like a storm front, sharp and commanding. All eyes turned as Alpha Howard entered. His reputation preceded him, a warrior ruthless and undefeated, but the man in the wheelchair before us defied expectations. Alpha Howard of Red Obsidian couldn't walk. Margot's confidence faltered, her lips parting in silent shock. Lucille shrank back, her unease deepening. But our father, ever the strategist, bowed deeply, his voice steady despite the flicker of fear in his eyes. Alpha Howard, welcome to Oakshade. We are honored by your presence. Howard's steel-gray eyes scanned the room, sharp and calculating. When they landed on me, I felt their weight, a predator assessing prey. My wolf Cleo stirred uneasily. Bring them forward, Howard ordered, his voice cold and absolute. One by one we stepped forward. Margot moved with calculated grace, her charm on full display. Lucille followed, quiet but deliberate, and then it was my turn as I approached. Howard's gaze pinned me in place. My father's harsh voice broke the silence. She's mute, he said, his words laced with disdain. Howard tilted his head, his expression unreadable. Mute, yes, my father confirmed curtly, but she understands her role. Howard studied me, his silence more unsettling than any words. Then to everyone's shock he spoke. I choose her? The room erupted. Margot gasped audibly, her mask of confidence shattering. Lucille's face went pale. My father froze, disbelief etched into his features. You mean Clover? Margot stammered. Yes, Howard said, his tone brooking no argument. The bonding ceremony will take place tomorrow. Inform the council, I want them all there. With that, Howard turned his wheelchair and left his beta guiding him. The whispers in the room were deafening, but I barely heard them. My father's glare burned into me, a silent promise of retribution. Do not ruin this for me, he hissed, storming away. The next day passed in a blur. My father thrust a crimson dress into my arms, his disdain palpable. Wear this, and keep your mouth shut. Not that you have much choice. Mia, the kind maid, helped me dress, her hands trembling. Miss Clover, she whispered. And good for you? I scribbled quickly in my notebook. I will survive, I always do. But when Margot and Lucille barged in, their mockery cut deeper than I expected. You were perfect for him, Margot sneered. Mute and useless. A pity bride for a crippled alpha. Their laughter followed me to the ceremony, but I refused to let it break me. The grand hall was packed with the werewolf elite, tension crackling in the air. My father led me to the front, where Howard waited. His presence was commanding despite his chair, and when his eyes met mine, I felt a strange, unspoken understanding. The ceremony was quick but suffocating as Howard Herond closed over mine to seal the bond. Whispers swirled around us, pity, disbelief, curiosity, but I ignored them, focusing only on the warmth of his grip. The moment the ceremony ended, I retreated to pack my belongings. My relief was short-lived. Thomas, my former mate, stormed into my room with his sister Tanya marrying him. Thomas spat, his voice dripping with contempt. Is this your plan, Clover? To claw your way to relevance? Tanya smirked, her tone razor-sharp. You wear a cockroach, surviving by latching onto power. Their words sliced through me, but before I could respond, a voice cut through the tension like a blade. Is there a problem here, Howard? His presence filled the doorway, his gaze lethal. What business do you have with my Luna? Thomas stiffened, his bravado crumbling. No business, he muttered, retreating with Tanya at his heels. Howard's eyes softened as he turned to me. Are you ready?